Alrighty, good morning everyone. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Today is December the 31st. It's the last day of the year. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Good morning, good morning. What's up everyone? Can you guys hear me and see my screen? Good morning, what's up everyone? Good morning Cody, Victor, Lamit, Deuce, KO, Eileen. Good morning everyone, Robert. Happy New Year's. Yeah, what's up, everyone? Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Wayne, I am. What's up, everyone? Cosmic, Wayne, Juan, Gerald, Nate, B Roots. Yeah, what's up, everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. As I mentioned, today is New Year's Eve. It's the last day of the year. The markets are closed tomorrow, of course, for New Year's. As for yesterday, really not too much that happened in the overall markets, just a lot of consolidation. We had an inside bar day and we ended up actually dropping in the after hours. Currently in the pre-market, we're kind of bouncing here. So we'll talk about what we're looking for coming into today, of course, on the major indices, and then we'll head on to the tech names here as well. Yeah, what's up everyone? Hope you guys are doing well. Let me grab some water here and then we will get started. We'll start off on the futures and then we'll work our way down to see what we have on the tech names here as well. Awesome. Okay, yeah, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's first start off on the ES. So let's go into the hourly chart here. So coming into today for the overall markets, the key levels that we're going to have marked out are the exact same levels as yesterday, our 69.60, and of course the low of the range, which is our Monday's lows, are 69.40s. So this is really the key level that we have marked out on the ES, and as you can see yesterday, kind of came up in towards our key level here, which is our 69.60, ended up rejecting off this area, and then we end up pushing right back towards the downside. So as you can see, coming into today, this is going to be the key level. It's just going to basically be our Monday's lows. And what I like to see is a reaction that we have off this level coming into market open. If we reject off this level, we could be looking for some more downside back down in towards our pre-market lows here and below. Ultimately, if we can reclaim back above your Monday's lows, then we can see a pushback in towards the middle of the range and potentially a pushback up in towards this 69.60. So this is going to be the key level coming to today here for the ES. It's just going to be your Monday's lows. As I mentioned, it is the day before a market holiday. We end up having FOMC minutes yesterday, which kind of dropped the market in the after hours, but not really too much. Kind of with this holiday season, we've been talking about it for a while. Really, the markets haven't been moving as much, and the volatility has definitely been drying up just because it is lower volume. And of course, the markets do have holidays. So that's the key levels that we have for the ES coming into market open. As for the SPY chart, the key levels that we have marked out coming into today is going to be the exact same thing here. It's just going to be your Monday's lows. So this is a very key level here on the higher time frames. If we do want to see a potential rejection, of course, we're going to be looking for the fade off of our Monday's lows for continuation lower, or even the potential rejection off that previous day lows, that's 687 for continuation towards the downside. If we do want to see any sort of upside here in the markets, it's going to be the reclaim back above your Monday's lows for this continuation higher. So that's going to be above your 686 for a potential move back up and towards your 687. So that's going to be the key level for the overall markets coming into today. We're just going to keep an eye out on your Monday's lows here on the SPY chart. As for the NQ, let's go on to this here now as well. So for the NQ, as you can see, we're actually coming back towards the downside. We recently filled this gap here as well. So if we're taking a look at the NQ, the levels that we can have marked out is just this general area. So as you can see, what we have created is kind of this head and shoulders here on the hourly chart. You can see ultimately we rejected off key levels yesterday, and we end up pushing back towards the downside. Now moving forward, what we like to see for the NQ in specific is the reaction that we have off of our basically our Monday's lows along with our Tuesday's key pivot level here as well. So now what we like to see moving forward is if we can use this level as a potential rejection for this break and retest towards the downside, or if we're going to ultimately reclaim this level, and then we're going to end up having this reversal here. So let's go back onto the lower time frames. As for the key levels that we have marked out, it's going to be our Monday's lows once again on the NQ. So this is the level that we can have drawn out, which is our 25,640. This is really the only level that matters here on the chart. As I mentioned, if we can reclaim, we can see a push back towards the upside. If we ultimately reject off this level, then we can see this continue push right back down in towards your pre-market lows here and below. So this is what we have for the NQ coming into today. As for the QQQ, very similar thesis here. The key levels that we're just going to have marked out is going to be that previous low that we created here on Monday. So based off the higher time frames, let's actually hide this. So on the QQQ, similar thesis here. Key level that we're going to have marked out is going to be your 619. So you can see there's multiple touches here. If we reject off this level, we can see this continue push right back down in towards your pre-market lows here and below. If we do want to see any sort of upside, it's going to be the reclaim back above your 619 for this continuation higher. So this is what we have for the QQQ coming into today. It's going to be that 619 for the SPY, similar level here as well, which is just going to be that Monday's lows. In this case, it is going to be that 688. So both the SPY and the Qs, we're going to be looking off the exact same levels coming into today, both off the key levels as I mentioned. Now let's go on to some of the tech names that we have coming into market open. If you guys do have any tickers or any charts you'd like me to go over, you guys can now drop them in the chat, and I'll go over some of the tech names, and then I'll go over some other names later in a second. Yeah, as well, if you guys don't already know, the markets are closed tomorrow for New Year's. So the markets, especially the New York Stock Exchange, most major indices are going to be closed, or major asset classes are going to be closed as well. So the markets will not be opened. And then, of course, they will be reopened on Friday once again. So 2 market holidays, back-to-back weeks, both on Thursday. So, right, as I mentioned, whenever the markets do have holidays, typically it is a lower volume week, and that's why you can see we're getting the price action that we're currently having. Yeah, if you guys do have any charts or any tickers, you guys can now drop them in the chat. If you guys are enjoying this so far, appreciate if you guys drop a like. If you guys haven't joined the daily watch list, that of course is in the description below here as well. Okay, now let's go on to Tesla. For someone asking about the key levels, I already have them drawn out. I actually have a video on my second channel going over exactly how I draw my key levels. As for Tesla, this one has been showing a little bit more relative weakness coming into this week in specific. Last week was staying a little bit heavy here as well. So for Tesla, coming into today, let's actually just remove a couple key levels here. What I have marked out on Tesla is your 452, which is a higher time frame key level. I also have now marked out your 458. So for Tesla, really not too much going on this week. You can see just in a downtrend, right? Lower highs are being built, but not really a clear downtrend, or actually a downtrend with a lot of momentum. We're just slowly pushing towards the downside. But for Tesla moving forward, coming into today in specific key levels that we're going to be looking for, potential bounce play off this 452, or now it's going to be the reclaim back above your 460 for continuation. A lot of it has been a lot of mean reversions here. So for Tesla and the rest of the markets, a lot of it has been more reversal trades. So you could be looking for kind of this pop and fade off your 460 for this continuation towards the downside. Or if, let's say, you want to see continuation lower, and now it's going to be underneath your previous day lows, preferably underneath this 452 for continuation lower towards the downside. So that's what we have for Tesla coming into today. Not too much that I see on Tesla. This one's just continuing to show weakness, so we're just going to keep an eye out on your key levels as I mentioned. Now let's go on to some of the semiconductors. So Nvidia and AMD, these ones have been basically holding up as the market has been dropping. So this is something to keep an eye out for. As for Nvidia, the key levels coming into today, we're just going to mark out your previous day highs along with your previous day lows. You can see this is also from your Monday's key levels as well. If you do want to see any sort of upside, we like to see the reclaim back above our 188 for continuation higher. Another possible long scenario is going to be the bounce off your 187 for continuation. If we're looking for a reversal setup, we could be looking for the pop and fade like yesterday, right off that previous day highs, 188.50. Or if you want to see some more downside, now it's going to be the break underneath that 187 for that continuation lower towards the downside here as well. So that's what we have for Nvidia coming into today. Now let's go on to the next chart we have, which is AMD. Let's go into this one. Yeah, if the mic is a little bit lower, I am on my travel setup, so the mic is a little bit farther away. You can just turn up the volume. As for AMD, you can see this one, a little bit of a rejection here off this 216. This is the key level here on the higher time frames. You can see we have multiple touches. Another rejection off this level once again yesterday. So if we do want to see any sort of upside, we either want to see that bounce off your 213, or now it's going to be above your 216 for continuation higher. That's what we have for AMD. Another possible scenario is the rejection off 216, or now it's going to be underneath 213 for this pushback towards the downside. So these are the two scenarios for AMD for the upside and the downside. The key level is going to still be that 216 if we do want to see any sort of continuation back towards the upside. So those are the two semiconductors. As for a few other tickers here now as well, not really too much else to talk about, to be honest. During this market, the past couple of weeks have been a lot slower. A lot of these higher time frames, as you can see, are just consolidating. Apple, you can look at this one. The past really couple weeks have been consolidating. Only real movers have actually been the major indices themselves. A couple other high beta names and a couple other semis have been moving, like MU and a few other tickers. But really on the tech side, specifically the Mag 7, we haven't really seen too much price action and too much movement. So that's just a sign to be a lot more cautious here until we can see that volatility pick up. But as you can see for Apple, key levels that we have here is your 275 along with your 272. Until we can really break outside this range, not too much to talk about. So I won't really look for key levels. As for Google, yesterday this one came up towards the upside. Really nice push higher, but ultimately was not able to close above your 316, and we end up having this rejection off this level. And you can see we just came right back towards the downside. But for Google, we can just draw at this range here. If you do want to see upside here, it's just going to be the bounce play off your 312, or now it's going to, of course, be above your 316 for continuation. So that's what we have for Google. As for everything else here in the overall markets, let's see if this will load. Let's wait for TradingView to load up here. I guess it's kind of lagging. As for Google, let's go back onto this since this was lagging just a little bit. That's what we have. The key levels, as I mentioned, is just going to be that 460. Let's go into this. Sorry. Yeah, for Google, the key level, as I mentioned, is going to be that 316 along with your 312. In between this range, you just want to be a lot more cautious. Unless you are trading ranges, if you're trading continuations, of course, be more cautious just because markets have been reversing at key levels. As for Meta, the range is fairly wide up and towards that 670, kind of rejection yesterday here as well. As you can see, a lot of my charts are a little bit messy here just because I haven't changed the levels. A lot of it has been just ranging, so there hasn't been too much to talk about, and there hasn't been really any new levels to mark off on, especially as I mentioned, the Mag 7. So Meta inside of a range, be more cautious. Basically every ticker is inside of a range. So when the markets are ranging like this, I'd much rather be a lot more hands off. You can look to trade potential reversals if you like. But for me, normally I'm just a lot more hands off, and I'm just going to wait until the market will start trending and until we can start getting some nicer opportunities. As for Amazon, you can see tight range here. We'll now be looking for a break above your 233 for continuation higher. Potential break underneath break underneath that 231.50, we can see continuation here as well. Hopefully the stream is working. Can I get a check on the stream if we're still good? If you guys can hear me and see my screen. I did get some weird notification that popped up, but we should still be good. Can you guys still hear me? Good, good, good. All good. Yes, you're fine. Perfect. Yeah. Excited to kind of get back to the home setup. I am going to be back to the normal schedule and back to my own home office next week. But as for the rest of the tickers here now, key levels, yeah, Microsoft, just a lot of consolidation. There's really not too much to talk about. Really, I've been coming on the past couple of weeks, really saying the same things over and over again. But for the overall markets, we're just going to wait for the markets to start trending once again and for the volatility to pick back up. But at least for some other names, if you guys do have any other charts or any tickers, I'll go over them for the next kind of 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to get ready for market open. We do have some more red folder news, but not any major red folder news. We just have some Fed speakers that, we do not have any Fed speakers this week with the market holiday. We do have unemployment, which will be at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, we have some unemployment claims. That's going to come in about 9 minutes. But yeah, let me go on to a few tickers here now, and then I am going to get ready for market open. Let's see here. Go over a couple of these ones. Let's go over silver since this one has been moving nicely as of late. We'll see if it'll load. So yeah, at least for silver, you can see there's been some nice opportunities on this name. A lot of volatility, specifically in the after hours, but super nice reaction here off our 68.50. This is our key level. You can see kind of this rejection, right? Once we reclaimed, we end up having this nice push towards the upside. And then ultimately now we're having this pretty big gap down. So a lot of the moves have been happening in the after hours, which is something to keep in mind if you do trade options. You can trade futures on this one if you'd like. There's a lot of different ways to trade silver. But for the key levels coming into today, let's keep an eye out on your 65.20. That is going to be the key level coming into market open. And then, of course, we have your 67 and your 68.50. What we like to see here is the bounce play off your 65 if you want to see any sort of continuation higher. If you want to see continuation lower, break underneath the 65.20 for continuation towards the downside. As for everything else, Palantir, this one has been dropping ever since filling that gap. We've been showing a lot more relative weakness. A nice kind of push towards the downside, at least for Palantir today. Let's keep an eye out on your 181. This is your previous day lows. If you want to see some more continuation towards the downside, you like to see some sellers step in off this 181 here. As for a few other tickers, let's go on to MU. If this will load. Let's go into this ticker. As for MU, this one ended up having this nice previous day high retest. We kind of talked about this one. We ended up having this nice retest right off the bat yesterday. Nice continuation up and towards your pre-market highs. A little bit of sellers are stepping in. But for MU, still the key level is going to be this 294. If you want to see some upside, reclaim back above your 294, we can see some continuation higher here as well. So this is what we have for MU coming into today. As for everything else, yeah, let me just go over my game plan coming into today. I'm not expecting that much just because we do have a market holiday tomorrow. But as for the overall markets, really coming into today here now, we're just going to keep an eye out on your 619. If we can reclaim, as I mentioned, we can see this reversal back towards the upside. If we reject, we're just going to see this push right back down in towards your pre-market lows. So 619 is going to be my key level on the Qs today. I am going to keep an eye out more on the major indices just because that is what has been moving the markets. As for the SPY, similar thesis here. I'm going to keep an eye out on your 686. If we can reclaim back above this level, we can see some continuation higher. If we reject off this level, then we're going to see this push right back down in towards your pre-market lows. So the main watches are really just going to be the SPY and Qs themselves and keeping an eye out on that. As for the tech names, I'm still somewhat interested in the semiconductors here for continuation higher. You can see Nvidia pushing back. It's going to be one of my main watches towards the upside. If we can break above your previous day highs and hold above it, we can see this nice continuation higher. So we'll keep an eye out on Nvidia. If we go on to the next, if we go on to AMD here as well, I do like AMD only above your 216 for continuation, but my favorite name today is going to be Nvidia. Besides that, I'm going to keep an eye out on the SPY and QQQ off this Monday's lows. But besides that, I'm most likely going to get ready for market open here now. As I mentioned, we're going to be a little bit more cautious in the market just because we have been ranging, a lot of consolidation, not as much volatility. I am going to wait for the first kind of 10 to 15 minutes to play out today once again. I do like Nvidia, as I mentioned, the best towards the upside, so we'll keep an eye out on that. But besides that, I'm going to get ready here. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that. If you did, appreciate if you guys drop a like. If you guys haven't joined the daily watch list, that of course is in the description below. I will be back next week, back to the home office. So besides that, I will see you guys all next week. Hopefully you guys enjoy your holidays. The market is closed tomorrow on Thursday. And then on Friday, the market's open back up, but I'll be gone. So I'll see you guys all next week for a brand new year. And of course, we'll start fresh for 2026 as well. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy your New Year's Eve. Hopefully you guys enjoy your time off for New Year's as well. And then I'll see you guys all next week. All right, take care, everyone.